Hello, guys. My name is Armin. In today's episode, Learning SketchUp, we're going to take a look at rectangle and rotated rectangle. So these are the two tools that people mostly not using because they're just going straight to the line tool and draw geometry. But the good thing about rectangle, you can use inferencing when you are aligned with X and Y and Z. And if you are not, you can use the rotated rectangle, which is going to give you a length, width, and an angle to draw really hard geometry. So we're going to go through these tips and tricks. Please take a look and share with me if you are using these tools or if you use it in a different way or even if you knew about it. So without further ado, let's jump into SketchUp and make sure you put your comments down below. In today's episode, Learning SketchUp, we're going to look at two tools. We're going to look at the rectangular and we're going to look at a new one, which is going to be a rotated rectangle. So you can find both under the basically just the main toolbar. You can see the rectangular over there and you have R as a shortcut, and rotated is basically is going to be in the same tool. It's a little bit like a different. I don't know if you guys kind of pay attention. This is kind of a little bit like an underrated tool. Like not most people use it, but you guys see how useful these tool is. I really didn't know how to use it until I started using it. Also, you can find it on the large toolbar. Said you can see the rectangular over there and a rotated rectangular. You can use R for the rectangular. If you do not have these large toolbar, you can right click here and you can basically turn these on right here. It says large tool set. You can kind of check this and this one shows up for you. So let's just start with the rectangular. I know it's very simple, but I just want to show you guys a few like tips and tricks on how to draw a rectangular. So the first thing first, you guys can kind of look at the cursor and you can see where is the rectangular located compared to the pen, basically the icon. So if I click, you can see it's basically starting drawing the rectangular from the corners, right? So you can see I can start doing it from the corner and goes. And there is two things, I don't know if you guys pay attention. So if I basically have these, you have two different type of rectangular, and it's going to be all identified by that middle line. So basically shows the rectangular over there. You have a square. So if I go to the perfect square, it basically shows me that I have a perfect square. You can see over there. And also if I have a proper length and width, you have a golden section, right? So you can kind of get these two by just moving your rectangular around, and you can get the perfect square and you can get a golden section with the proper length and width. So the other thing is if I hold control on my actual key. So let me just do another one over here. So right now I am basically, you can see right here, I'm starting doing the rectangular from the corners, but let's say, let me just go back here, select, start from here. So I just want to hold control. You guys can see how the little rectangular icon moves. So right now my pen or the pen icon is in the middle or the center of the rectangular. It means you're going to draw it from the center out, right? So if I draw it, you see this is a little bit different than what we used to, because we start from the corners. Right now we start from the middle of the rectangular. So the size is going to be the same. So let's just try it. So right now I want to do, let's say, 4, 5, and you guys see right here. Don't move right here, but I just want you to pay attention here. You didn't need to click anything. We just first click. I just put 4 feet and then comma 5 feet, right? So it basically draw that rectangular for me from the center. And right now I'm going to hold control. You can see basically changes. So we were here. Right now we're going to go over here. So I'm going to start here. I want to do 4 feet, comma 5 feet. You can see basically draw the same. It's going to be the same size for me. It's not going to be like bigger or smaller. Both are going to be the same. And then but it's just the location of these. So you can see at the bottom it says 4 feet. So this one it has 5 feet, and I can measure this one as well. So this one I have 4 feet, 5. So it doesn't change the shape of it. It's basically is gonna give you where you exactly starting your drawing based on the geometry and your model or anything that you have. So you can by just clicking control, you can draw from the corners, or you can draw from the middle or the center of the rectangle. Two other thing is when you click in the middle, you'll be able to get the square footage of it. And also if you click this line around it, it basically is going to give you the length, right? So I'm holding control. You can see the plus and then kind of adding to it, and it's going to give me the length of this, right? So you have 2, 4, 2, 5 is going to be 18, right? So just want to make sure that again, you can get the area, you can get the perimeter, just by selecting him. And with the same process that we have, basically this is two-sided, right? So if you want to color it for the face, so if this is going to be the face on top, I'm going to select this one. And if you want to do the bottom, which is going to be this, let's just select different color. So you can see right here, I select the two top and the bottom, and this kind of color coded the side. So very simple but important. Just to recap with the actual rectangular, if you want to draw it, you can use from the corners or you can from the center by just simply pushing control. And the other thing is you can just type the dimension. You don't need to come here, click, or you just click and then type the dimension. Let's say 10 feet, 20 feet. That's it. Like you don't need to go over here because when you come over here, it's gonna change it. So don't do that. So that's one thing that I just want you to kind of be aware of how to draw it. The other thing is when the people draw the rectangle, I've seen them. Most of the people they just gonna do. They come here, they just do this, and then like they go another one, they just do another one over here. Just inferencing here, just make sure they kind of connect and then kind of do this. So you don't need to do that. When you have a rectangular, that's why you have the tool. You basically can select. So you can see when I hover over areas, how the actual rectangular change the color. So basically, if you are on the y-axis or red axis, green axis, which is X, or blue, which is Z, so any of these axes that you are, when you move them, you're basically going to draw based on those, right? And then if you want to lock them, you can use your arrows. So right now I'm just using the right arrow. It's going to lock to the green, log to green by my left arrow. And then with the upper arrow, it's basically log to the Z axis, right? And then when you basically do that, you can just kind of click on, right? So you can just click and then kind of go up, right? So I'm going to go over here. And then if you want to inference here, for example, you basically come up. Let's see if I can grab. Uh, there you go. So like exactly just do it really quick so you don't need to do anything, right? And then again right here you see how it goes up, and then I do that, and then basically if I close this side, it's going to close the top, and I have more rectangular. So you don't have to actually go to the line tool and then do one by one, do like a million lines. Sometimes they're going to go like a different ways. Right here, you can exactly use your arrows, lock it to the axes, and then basically just draw it real quick. And this is happening when you are in line with X, Y, and Z, right? So let's say if you are not, and you have a different angles, right? So let's try this. And this is where the rotated rectangular comes in. So if you guys are familiar with the polar system, so you have a length, the width, and then the angle, right? So this is what the rotated rectangular is. So basically, you're using this to draw something that is not aligned with the X, Y, and Z, and it's going to be really, really easy to do that. So I'm going to just start from this right here, right? So the first one that I click on, you can see basically aligns to the axis. Is going to tell me how you want to draw it. Let's say I want to do this, come over here, the end point, which is going to be 4 on top of this. and then it's gonna tell me do the another length, right? And then basically draw it. So if I go this and then go up, you can see basically how, let me just get closer so you guys can see. So you can see basically how it's going to draw this for me on top. So I have a length, a width, and then you have an angle, right? So I know I basically wanted to be aligned with this side. Right now I'm going to give it a width and then I'm going to give it an angle, right? So I already, you guys can see, it shows me 5. Just move it. So you can see the length, it says 5, which is going to be with what we have already. And right now I can put width at the bottom right here. I want you to kind of pay attention here. So I'm going to put, let's say, 6 feet and 45 degrees, right? So you see how basically you just draw it over there. So I right now see how I'm going to do. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to draw this way, right? So let's say do another one. So I want you guys to see how this is going to look like. So what I'm going to do right now it's already showed the length because you remember I put 6 over there. So right now I'm going to continue on this and put 6. Right now I want to change it to 5 feet and then 45 angles. So you can see how basically goes over here. And if I want to close, let's say this to this area or to this area, you can see how I can basically close it easily right here. See? So I can easily create a shape like this uh, very fast. You just read a little bit dimension and whatever you have, you can simply, with 3 clicks, create a very complex geometry that they are not on X, Y, and Z. Because you imagine if you wanted this geometry on a drawing, you want to use the just a regular rectangular tool or just a line tool, is going to take forever to get all of those angles. You can put everything, but this rectangular tool thing is the best. And when basically I learned how to use it, it was just one of those go-to tools that I was using it to creating everything. And then when you're basically done, same thing as the other one, since this is going to be a surface, a line around, you do the same thing, right? Basically, you can click on this area, you can hold control, you can add everything to the square footage. If you want to just do the perimeter lines, so I can just select the lines, it's going to tell me, you know, basically what I have over here. It's going to add everything. Again, each have a face and each has a different color. You can basically select a different color for each one. You can kind of color code them if you want, and then basically make them a different colors if you like to see any of this. So I think this is basically what is really, really important for you to understand how to use the rectangular tool. So please share in the comment if you are using it in a different way and if you know any other tips and tricks on how to align the rotated tool and any use case that you use it, please put it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.